So BPA free, right? That's a scam?
BPA free is a scam. We come to a place where we're just so comfortable in like this room temperature house, room temperature car, room temperature office.
Why do you think so many doctors are so quick to just hand out medication? I've heard theories that organic doesn't, I don't know, it's not that important.
Depression and anxiety is not, depletion of your neurotransmitters or an imbalance in you chemically, but it's more.
Hey, I'm Andrew Hales. Welcome to another edition of Chatting With. Today I'm here with Dr. G.
How you doing, man?
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
See, naturopathic?
Yes.
Doctor, what's that mean?
Well, to put it short, the way we really approach is a little bit different than what you'll get conventionally. So we're used to conventionally going in with a symptom and getting that symptom treated. What we've been trained to do as naturopathic doctors is look for the root cause of the disease so we can really get to the bottom of why you're getting that symptom. So for us, the symptom is like sort of the end stage where your body's talking, and we look for the deeper root cause. Trained the same way through 4 years of medical school, but we also learn about botanical medicine, nutrition. For quite a while, we do 2 years of nutrition rather than 23.9 hours of nutrition, which is the average in medical school, conventional. So a little bit different, and then clinically, when we go into rotations, it's different too. We don't go to the ER. Who the heck needs a naturopathic doctor in the ER when their leg's falling off?
Yeah.
But we do a lot of more preventative care.
Okay.
So it's really nice integratively when we work together, and we're starting to see a lot of that, especially out here in LA.
So yeah, it seems like everything and anything gives you cancer these days, you know. And then there's all these cures for apples. It's like all, confusing. Everyone. There's gluten. Is that celiac disease? What is that? Do you have that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Remember the concept between us is like the guy at the bar?
Yeah.
That's like the perfect bar question, right? They're like, whoa, what's a gluten? Do I have this?
Right.
Well, I'll take 2 steps back. Yes,
Okay.
Certainly we're at the point where everyone's like, everything gives me cancer, so fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever.
Yeah.
Right? I think we need to be more understanding about what types of things are truly things we need to watch out for, right? For our health. Gluten, yeah, great. It can cause inflammation, especially for those who have celiac disease and the 20% of us that have non-celiac sensitivity, gluten sensitivity. So some of us we're never diagnosed with celiac disease, but let's say, there's 5 people. Statistically, we'll say maybe like, one of them or one or two maybe are going to have a reaction to the gluten without even knowing. Oh, I'm so bloated for some reason. I'm really hurting after I ate this wheat bread. Or look, my skin is really changing. My joints are hurting. I have brain fog. So we don't know how gluten affects everyone. We certainly know how it affects people with celiac disease, though.
Well, didn't celiac disease just come out in the last 10 years or something?
No, celiac disease has been around. The whole like gluten rage and craze has come out around the last 10 years. I have a theory, though, I'll tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a little theory. Let's put some juice into this.
Great.
My belief is that as we started inundating our wheat with more pesticides, that the gluten has become more basically inflammatory for us folks, especially for those who are genetically sensitive to it. Because you go to Italy, let's say you and me go to Italy, and we're like on the southern coast, and we eat this pizza and it has gluten in it. Well, I know I'm pretty sensitive. My hands will start peeling. I get really dry. Chances are I'll be fine. A lot of people go and they go, I can't eat gluten, but I can eat it in Italy. I can eat it in Portugal. I can eat it in Spain. So it's a little different with the chemicals that we're using here in America with our wheat and the way it's being processed. So, that's my little theory. Haven't seen it in a study yet, but still looking for it to come out.
So what's this thing about B12? You don't get enough of that without red meat or whatever.
Yeah, so I know that like you were interested in talking a lot about diets, and that's a thing. So we have a spectrum, right? You have a carnivore diet that is literally just meat, and you have a vegan diet that is like vegetables and plant-based proteins. Yes, on a vegan diet, the concern is that if you do it wrong or you don't have a variety, you can become nutrient depleted, like B12, sometimes iron. These are things that we really need to watch out for. On the other side of the spectrum, you have a carnivore diet and you're really depleted in one of the most major macronutrients, fiber, which everyone needs evolutionarily. So I'm going to have a carnivore guy come on my show, actually, the Carnivore MD. So I want you to check out that show. I think you'll like it.
When's that come out?
He hasn't come yet, so it'll be like in 2 months, so in the summer.
Okay, wait. So the vegan, so you use supplements?
Pretty much everyone who does, check this out. Majority of us are B12 deficient anyway.
Okay.
Right? So the people who even eat meat who are B12 deficient, I would always suggest those folks at least once a year to have nutrient panels to check how their B12 looks. But for us vegans, we are more susceptible to being low on our B12. So me personally, I'll take it like once a week.
Synthesized?
A little supplement. Yeah, well, it's called methylcobalamin, the more bioavailable form.
Oh,
and
so it's more expensive.
It's a little more expensive. I get the bougie B12.
No Centrium for you.
No.
Centrum?
Centrum.
Whatever, yeah.
Centrum, yeah.
All right, no multivitamins. Is it just B12?
I take B12. I'll take some things for stress because, you know, you and I,
sure.
Yeah, we're always running around doing things, so handling our stress.
You smoke weed?
Sometimes.
Okay. No qualms with weed then?
No qualms with weed. It's got to be clean though. We want the high quality stuff.
How do you figure that out?
I don't know. You go to a dispensary and figure out. I've literally never been to a dispensary or bought weed in my life.
Oh.
No, I just get it from my friends.
You mooch.
Yeah. I'm the mooch. I'm Dr. Mooch.
What about vaping?
I am concerned with it.
Okay.
For sure. Especially by the process of vaping, the combustion in it, the chemicals in it, the heavy metals in it. Someone who's doing this, like let's say, all right, look, you vape with your friends, fine, but you have a vape pen that you're taking out every single, every single day. That could be a problem for sure. We haven't seen that it's safe at all. Safer than cigarettes, maybe
right.
not, but we haven't seen that vaping, that whole chemical process is safe.
Okay. What's your normal diet look like?
As a vegan,
yeah.
I do tons of like smoothies, usually for breakfast, nutrient-dense smoothies, vegetables.
What vegetables? What exactly is
We're
in
going
the
in.
smoothie?
Okay.
We're dissecting the smoothie.
Usually leafy green, which are really nutrient-dense, right? You want
kale,
magnesium.
spinach.
Kale, spinach.
Okay.
Kale, spinach, leafy green. Frozen blueberries, right? Raspberries, some strawberries. I'll put in some powders.
A lot of fructose.
A lot of fiber too.
Okay.
Right, so then I'll put in some nuts and seeds or some nut butter.
Peanuts, what nuts?
Almond.
Almond. Is that the best nut?
Well, I'm not crazy about peanuts.
I'm crazy about Brazil nuts.
Brazil nuts are very good for your prostate.
Yeah.
Very good for your prostate.
They raise libido too and everything.
Yeah. Good source of selenium.
Do you read 4 Hour Workweek?
No.
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or 4 Hour Body. Yeah.
4 Hour Body.
That's his sequel to 4 Hour Workweek.
And he talks about
Brazil nuts, slow carb diet. I think he's one of the main proponents of the slow carb diet.
Okay.
You heard of that?
Basically, not like high processed, simple
vegetables
carbs.
and meats, and that's it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
well,
beans.
that's like kind of paleo without the beans.
Right. Do you eat beans?
Yes, for sure.
Beans are fine.
For me, yes. And I know you want to talk a little bit about the blood type
That's
diet
right.
and
Yeah.
lectins, right? I'm on it, man.
Blood types.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the thing, look, I actually studied under Peter D'Adamo, the creator of the blood type diet, back in the 90s, right? And the blood type diet, basically, the premise is that foods have certain lectins, these proteins, and they react with our blood cells. But do you know your blood type?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm an O.
Okay.
So as a O blood type, my cells are going to react a little differently to lectin, and let's say if you were an A blood type, right? So let's say spinach, for example. As an A, your red blood cells are going to go, shh, this is fine. We love spinach. But me as an O, they might go like this. Oh my God, we're going to coagulate. This is too much. It's inflammatory. That's the whole premise of the blood type diet, right?
That's true for you?
No, well, not necessarily spinach.
Okay. Spinach is great for everyone.
Yeah, right?
All right.
But as a blood type O diet.
For beans, yeah.
Ironically enough, that's the evolutionary hunter-gatherer diet. So we're supposed to have evolved our blood types with eating lots of meat, actually.
Right. So some people actually are healthier with meat.
Well, that's based on the blood type diet now we're talking about. Whereas blood type A would be more so post-industrial, like vegan, more like a vegan diet, lots of vegetables, grains. I don't always recommend that diet because there's not a lot of good data on it. But what I have seen is clinically it's helped a lot of people, especially with arthritis and inflammatory issues in their joints and in their muscles. I've seen it like snap of a finger. I'm like, whoa, that was pretty interesting.
Okay.
You know?
And that covers the plant paradox thing.
So Stephen Gundry's plant paradox is, and not a lot of people talk about it, is literally based on Peter D'Adamo's work.
Okay.
It's like he took that work
Yeah.
and then made it his and made it popular.
Also, I feel like a lot of these diet fads are like, they mix in like fasting and that'll cure, and then it overlaps.
Yeah, and then it overlaps.
Right.
So the thing with Gundry's diet is it's less sophisticated than Peter D'Adamo's, because he's just saying all spinach is bad for all blood types, therefore stay away.
Oh.
Right? And not necessarily spinach, but whatever he's putting in that
Yeah,
category.
then he's got all his supplement lines.
And then he's like, but you want to know how your body's going to take this in? Take my red powder, take my
Yeah.
green powder. I hate that stuff, man.
Snake oil.
Yeah, snake oil. You see my Instagram, do I ever sell anything? No, I'll talk about things that are good, but I don't make money from Instagram.
You don't sell you don't do any...
Affiliates, no.
No?
No, man. You can as a doctor,
Well,
that's
no,
a bad look.
I did see some like food review, I don't know.
I do food reviews.
Do they pay you
No,
to
no one pays me.
choose?
Zero.
Yeah, they're
$0, yeah. Yeah, but I do review food.
Okay.
Certainly. And then you mentioned fasting.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I figure that's great, and
Yeah.
there's no really wrong way to do it, right?
Well,
Stop eating so much.
well, someone who stops eating and like doesn't drink water for a week, that might be the wrong way to do it,
Okay.
right? If you're doing a long fast, check with your doctor, right? You want someone to at least watch you, or a practitioner.
Well, that's not really. What are they going to be by your side the whole?
No, but they might give you recommendations like, okay,
Yeah.
drink water every few hours, because some people do dry fast, get dehydrated, and you know, get really sick. But intermittent fasting is the fasting that is basically utilizing, it's like time restricted feeding, right? So you feed during an hour or a certain window, and then don't eat. And that actually, in lots of studies, has been shown to be really helpful from head to toe.
Yeah.
Brain, heart,
Everything.
yeah, triglycerides, detoxification. It's wild. Immune system.
Do you intermittent fast every day?
I do, and now it's become so natural. But in the past, I used to like eat when I eat.
Right.
Wake up in the morning, go straight to the kitchen, right? And if I'm hungry at 9:30 at night, eat something at 9:30 at night.
So you only eat between 2 and...
Well, the major one, and we see a lot of studies, is 12 and 6.
Okay.
But for me, if I'm hungry around 12, like 11, I wake up, I just worked out the day before, I'm hungry, I'm eating at 11. I don't care.
Yeah, so when you're working out, can that be dangerous?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. It's actually shown that when you go through that process of spring cleaning, as I call it, because the body, when you're fasting, starts cleaning up all that crap in your body, the dead cells, the infected cells. What happens is when it's going through that process, it's helpful to rebuild muscle too once you start refeeding. So it's like, look, fasting, cleaning up, and then the time comes to eat, that refeeding is really good.
Okay. Do you ever do 3-day fasts?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. They're hard. I've done a 3-day water fast, and think about how much of our lives we eat, right? Like we've been born the day eating. So it's like literally become a ritual, to bookmark to our day. So you have to become conscious of something really alien, and like, I'm not eating, and that's really weird. But once you get past that, it's actually really beneficial. I've done a lot of water.
I've heard sometimes so the hunger pangs go away after like the first day, and then some, you kind of lose your whole appetite and all this stuff.
Yeah. Think about this, man. We evolved more so not eating than eating.
Yeah.
Right? Because we had times where we had no food for days, and then we feast. Here comes the famine again. Yeah, and
that's like how every animal in the kingdom is.
Sure. You think a raccoon is always just hanging out and eating all day, every single day, from morning till night. So we have these rhythms in our body that we adjust to, and we've been made, actually, our body's very much so adaptable and created to those stresses of not eating. So we're just trying to utilize that medically now to understand what it's doing and how it can benefit us.
Cool. Sunscreen. I hear that causes cancer now. You wear sunscreen?
Look, check this out. I did a whole review on sunscreens.
Oh.
The conventional sunscreens, you're not going to apply it, go to the beach and get cancer. But if you're living, let's say we live in the sun, right? And you're putting sunscreen every single day, you might want to be vigilant into what you're putting in your body. Those sunscreens are pretty toxic. They put a lot of crap in there. Oxybenzones is one of the main chemicals.
Why do they do that?
Well, one, to preserve them, one, for them to do the job that it's doing, which is completely blocking the sun, which I think is a little crazy because we evolved with the sun.
Yeah.
The sun does more than give us vitamin D.
I literally like try to get as much sun as I can now. It's like almost impossible to get a sunburn in the winter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always think about to myself, are the people who are really having an issue with the sun, is their internal environment shitty? Right? Is something going on in there where they have a horrible diet, horrible lifestyle, and then the sun's just a stressor instead of something that's really therapeutic? Because me, dude, look at me, I'm in the sun all the time. I'm working in the sun, I eat breakfast in the sun, I eat lunch in the sun. Knock on wood, I have no cancer, but I feel pretty damn good, and my vitamin D is wonderful.
Plus, it's no wonder like everyone's happier in the summer.
100%.
You get like an hour or two of sun a day or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, all we really need is about 20 to 30 minutes with at least 40% of our body exposed to get a really adequate, good amount of vitamin D.
Right, and the supplements don't nearly absorb nearly as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just vitamin D the sun's giving us. It's the signals and inputs from the sun, from our eyes to our skin, is really deep. It's evolutionary, right? It activates so many different parts of our body. It's not just like vitamin D, you know? So I think that we need to pay more attention to that rather than be like, well, I can't get sun this week. I'm just going to pop in some 2,000 IUs of vitamin D. We'll be good. Yeah. Although it will raise your blood vitamin D or serum vitamin D. It's not the be-all, end-all.
What's the best way to filter water these days?
At this point, it's either reverse osmosis or the Berkey water filter.
Okay.
Right? The problem is that, well,
why can't you order Berkey in California?
Oh, did you try?
Have you seen that?
You tried?
Well, I did, but it said their website said they couldn't ship it to California, but then on Amazon did.
You can do it through Amazon, yeah.
So.
They only send you the travel one, which is good for one person, but a family it's not that good.
Right.
I don't know. They have their weird regulations. Yeah. But Berkey is clean because it will purify the water. It's not even filter. Literally, you put mud water in there and it'll purify it into water.
Takes out the fluoride.
Takes out the fluoride.
Most filters don't.
Majority don't. I don't know. I know the Brita doesn't take out.
And what's wrong with fluoride? It makes your teeth white.
It doesn't even make them white. It supposedly makes them strong, but I don't even see enough evidence of that. The bigger issue with fluoride is it's a neurotoxin, right? That's the whole nervous
Makes
system.
you dumb?
We do see reduced no, it really does. We see reduction in IQ in children who are inundated with fluoride.
Okay.
It has an affinity for a part of the brain called the pineal gland, which releases DMT, which releases melatonin. So that's a big issue because it literally can calcify it. We see the cadavers of folks who have been inundated with fluoride. Their pineal gland is pretty much similar to that of a tooth, and it's supposed to be squishy brain tissue, not calcified tooth tissue. Okay. So, yeah, I'm pretty passionate about removing fluoride. That's one of the number one things. We don't need it.
Okay.
That's not the cause of cavities.
Well, why did they add it for the first? Oh, it's for the cavities. That's why. That's the only reason why?
They say it's for the dental health, but
conspiracy.
Well, if without, it's funny.
Right, yeah.
Without even being a conspiracy theorist, this is exactly what it is. The fluoride that they put in the water is a byproduct of industry, right? So it's not like, let's put elemental fluoride in there from nature so everyone's teeth can be better, right? So just think about that. Like, it's a byproduct of industry that's going in our water, and they say it's for...
someone's making money, right.
Isn't that how it all is?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. So you do believe Big Meat is funding some environmentalist groups and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. Well, I know that dairy has funded many studies, many. And
to favor them, whatever.
For sure, for sure. There was actually a study looking at the studies funded by dairy to see where the clock went or the ticker went on yes or no, and it was all yes. It's like, it'd be ridiculous for them to say stay away from dairy.
So is it a boardroom of people? How, there's different dairy companies. How does that work? Who's paying for that?
Well, there's like the association, right? The big dairy, right?
Okay.
Big dairy, that's what we'll call it, like big pharma, big dairy.
Right.
And they have huge lobbying capacity, billions and billions, where they can really influence a lot of these decisions made. If you look at my plate, right, which is what the dietitians are taught, that we should have, I think it's 3 glasses of dairy now as adults, which is crazy. Do you come home after playing basketball and drink a glass of milk?
No.
It's pretty wild, but that is the recommendation. When here's the wild thing, when we look at the studies, and this was done by one of the heads of nutrition at Harvard, Walter Willett, when you look at the studies for dairy, man, it's wild. It doesn't really do anything for our bone health. In the 90s, remember the milk commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does a body good.
Yeah,
it's
it's
good
like
for your bones.
Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
Everything.
Grow up in a Puerto Rican family. Drink your milk. It's going to make your bones strong, right? But the wild thing is that we see it does nothing for the bones. So it's for me, I'm like, what are we doing in the medical industry where we're just still recommending dairy to children, recommending dairy to adults, when that profile in dairy is not made for human beings?
You think there's any hope for, the other side battling big meats and big dairy?
The dairy industry is losing billions and billions of dollars because of alternatives.
The movement, yeah.
And it was last year, I think, was the biggest loss they've ever had.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like how many people really drink milk now? Or,
Well, no, a lot of people, not in LA.
Not now. Oh, yeah, I know,
You
right?
know?
I know. We're
Right.
in our bubble where we see like all of these fit people who are like.
Yeah, in all our restaurants and everything, yeah.
I swear to God, I haven't seen someone smoke since I moved here.
Yeah, you don't see that anywhere, actually.
You don't really see that, huh?
Yeah.
But regardless, so maybe dairy stays away from California, that demographic, that market. But regardless, yeah, they do have a stronghold on a lot. But the beautiful thing is that we have now almond milk, macadamia milk, pistachio milk, oat milk.
You don't have any qualms with them?
No, I mean, I have qualms when they're not organic, when they're not high quality, right?
Okay.
Because you're just trading something shitty for something a little bit better, but still shitty.
I've heard theories that organic doesn't, I don't know, it's not that important.
It is, and I'll tell you why. I got an answer for everything, man. You just keep shooting.
Yeah.
The study was based from Stanford University study a few years ago, which had really, really slim and poor definition for the word nutritious. And that study got slammed left and right. New York Times wrote a huge article about how that was the worst study. But that was a study that's saying, organic ain't nothing, it's terrible, stay away from it, right? Well, the truth of the matter is this. When you choose USDA organic, you're guaranteeing that 95% of the ingredients they're not using pesticides, herbicides, sewer sludge, radiation, synthetics derived from...
Sewer sludge?
Yeah, like literally...
Like some apple farmers are just slathering sewer sludge?
Not that blatant, but they're deriving stuff that's coming from sewer sludge, right? Or utilizing those ingredients, right? So it's wild for me to hear that. Like, and at any given time, we can have 47 to 67 different pesticides in our produce that are not organic. So what does that mean, right? Our bodies are beautiful. We can detoxify wonderfully. We have livers, kidneys, skin. We poop. But the problem is there's bioaccumulation of things throughout life, right? So if you eat non-conventional food, that might be okay, but someone who's smoking cigarettes, who has a poor lifestyle, not exercising, they're exposed to stuff at home, that's our cup that's filling up. So that's why I'm really always pushing organic. It is, and it's found to be, there's various studies, pretty much on average 40% more nutritious than conventional food in the context of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants.
Okay. Microwaves?
Well, microwaves are an interesting thing. Not many people have asked me about that, actually.
Yeah.
One thing I found is that when you cook mushrooms, one of the best ways to cook it is in a microwave to preserve its nutrients and its immune stimulating properties. The issue with microwaves that I have is that when you have protein-rich foods, it can, what they call denature, break down those proteins, right? So you're not getting the full expansive benefit of that
beans?
food. Yeah, essentially, yeah, because they have beans in there. Is a microwave going to give you brain cancer because of the radiation? Probably not. Those waves aren't as strong, but it's just cook your food.
Right.
Well,
no, my when I put black beans in a bowl and put them in the microwave, they're so much better than if I try to skillet or fry them.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Really? They're like uniformly warm.
They're just, I don't know, they get all mushy and shitty when I try to skillet them.
Yeah, well look, when you're using the microwave, the rays aren't going in there and like creating cancer in the beans and you're eating them. It's not necessarily like that, where the big concern.
Yeah.
I would rather cook my food.
Speaking of EMFs, do you believe cell phones are causing brain cancer maybe?
There is concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is concern.
You're kind of not sure. What do you think?
There's concern because we've seen in children that it increases the risk. we see an increased amount of glucose go to the part where they're putting their phones, meaning that there's an increased amount of activity, increased risk of brain cancer. It's been by the IRC, which is a body that basically classifies things as, yeah, it'll give you cancer, or probably not going to give you cancer. I think the last time I checked, it was like likely carcinogen or probable. So it's probably or likely going to give you cancer.
That's if it's like right here.
That's a belief, right? Like having it right here.
So a lot of people are doing the speakerphone now. Which
is how it should be. Basically, as a practitioner, the thing I would recommend is never put your phone to your ear.
Okay.
Never sleep with your phone. Yeah. Never you fall asleep.
I put it like on my pillow like this.
Yeah, and then fall asleep like that. That might be a big issue. Put it on airplane mode, man. And women, if you're running on the treadmill, keep it away from your sports bra.
Right.
Men, try to not keep it in your shorts.
Where do you keep your phone?
I put it on airplane mode.
Oh,
for the most part,
if
it's on my body. Yeah.
Well, that's annoying because it's like.
Then you get like 10 missed calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
But it's like whatever.
Yeah. So look.
It's not that big of a hassle.
It's not big of a hassle. I'll just call you back.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
and there's concern over 5G for sure. You had mentioned.
When's that come out?
I think it's rolling out pretty much everywhere.
And we're not going to be able to get away from it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Unless you move to Costa Rica or something, right?
or like Yellowstone.
Yeah. Where you have no service. But there was a group of 180 scientists and doctors who put together something over 40 countries that put together something that's saying like, there's nothing conclusive right now for 5G. We recommend you holding it, the rollout, until we understand what it does to human health and the environment.
Right. It's only been like 20 years, 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, we are the lab rats for 5G.
Yeah.
We'll see how it happens. And we're seeing like the virulence of some viruses, like how aggressive they are, like Epstein-Barr virus, is activated by 5G, which is wild. This is something that I came across. I was looking at a study. Anyone who's listening or viewing, just check it out. Go look for a study like that.
Wait. Which virus?
Epstein-Barr virus, mono.
I thought you said the coronavirus.
No, that's a good. Yeah.
Oh man.
We are in the thick of things with the corona.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's you concerned about that?
No, not like the TV is. I'll tell you that much.
All right.
There's way too much like fear-based hype out there, man. It's like.
Well, they're cashing in.
Yeah.
Because I was like glued for like 3 hours reading everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what was last year? Like Ebola? Like that's
right.
There's always something that is going to kill us. So for me, I'm like, all right, relax. Let's be practitioners. Let's be aware rather than live in fear. We need to worry about how to make our immune system stronger, right?
Okay.
Like, can we take supplements? What about how are we sleeping? How are we eating? Are we moving? Are we having enough sun? Right? Like basic stuff. How are our stress levels?
Kindergarten stuff.
Literally, right? the stuff that you forget to learn, or your doctor forgets to tell you instead of giving you medication. So they give you medication. But
do doctors still get bribes from Big Pharma?
I mean, I never read that they're getting blatant. Here, man, I got you. Here's a little something for the family.
Well, no, that was definitely happening in the 90s.
But what you do see is like indirect benefits, like kickbacks. That did happen. That for sure happened. Pharmaceutical companies would give a lot of doctors kickbacks. I haven't heard of that happening. I really hope it doesn't.
Yeah. Why do you think so many doctors are so quick to just hand out medications?
Because that's within the context of the training.
They're just like lazy, or I don't know.
No, it's not. And they're very much so well-meaning and want to help people, but that's in the context of their training. Like if I trained you how to fix toilets, and then I'm asking you, well, can you tell me how to fix pipes too while you're at it? No, I just know how to fix the outside of the toilet. I don't know how to really go all the way in the plumbing and the pipes. So I'm getting there. So when you have a toolbox that you've been trained, that's sort of all you know. Right? So the best medicine is going to be this medication for you. Instead of the best medicine being like, well, why do you have the symptom? Let's get to the root cause and let's prevent it, and/or why don't we use something natural that has been shown to be as effective and safer.
You take any medications?
No. No medications. No need.
Have you ever had to?
No, never. Well, look, I've taken antibiotics, and there's a huge place for antibiotics, right? If I have pneumonia, Or if Corona hits me really hard, right, and I have pneumonia, you better believe I want my antibiotics. Or if I walk, across the street on Melrose and I, get hit by a car, my leg's falling off, you better believe I want painkillers and antibiotics. So there's a beautiful place for conventional medicine. They do an awesome job at emergency medicine. They do a shitty job at prevention.
Okay. What do you think there's a place for them for depression and anxiety?
It's a good question. The model for depression and anxiety that psychiatrists are using is antiquated. We need to understand that depression and anxiety is not, a depletion of your neurotransmitters or an imbalance in you chemically, but it's more based on a cytokine model, meaning that you have inflammation in the brain for some particular reason. That can be an upstream or downstream issue, but there's inflammation in the brain that is causing changes in the brain. Therefore, we're seeing a lot of these things. So what I've seen is the practitioners who are reversing like severe depression, really severe mental issues, anxiety, are the ones who are addressing inflammation and doing something more powerful than going, here, take your Xanax, right? Take your depression meds, right?
And those just temporarily bring down the inflammation.
No, they don't even target the inflammation. It's based on something else. It's based on something else. It is not, for me, taking a medication for depression, like let's say Paxil, years and years. I'm sorry, that's not the one. I forgot.
Yeah, no, that's an SSRI.
Yeah, SSRI. I forgot. Years and years and years. That's not an answer, right? The answer is like, why do you have depression?
Yeah.
Right? And how can we figure that out? And you can literally do functional tests that can test the levels of inflammation in the brain, which is wild, right? We can see that now. And doing that and seeing how that correlates with your physical symptoms is much more responsible medicine than you coming in here and going, here, just take this medicine. Let's see how your symptoms are later, right?
I agree, but the SSRI is doing something.
It is. It's
not bringing down the inflammation.
It's because it's not tackling the root cause, right? Those are downstream effects that happen in the body.
Okay.
So it's like, if I have an overgrowth of bacteria in my gut, and I have heartburn, right? I can go to gastroenterologist and they can give me heartburn medication, but is anyone addressing why I have heartburn, right? What's happening upstream that's causing my heartburn to start manifesting?
Yeah.
So I think that that's the way that I see medicine, functional doctors see medicine, integrative doctors see medicine, is seeing like, all right, yeah, you can take a medication and it'll help until a certain point. It won't always help.
Right.
Right.
Well, but it's also not just as simple as inflammation, like PTSD and emotional stress.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. The emotional, there's always a component to that, right? There's a genetic predisposition that folks will have. So my brain can be inflamed from A or B reason, leaky gut, exposures for mold or for something, but I'm not really depressed. I might be a little off. Whereas if I have that genetic predisposition, those epigenetics, the things outside of me, like let's say mold exposure or gut issues or a really traumatic experience, that can make that cup leak over, and that manifests as, for me, depression, for you, anxiety, for Joe, just a little bit of, I've been off, so that's biochemically, everyone's very different.
Okay, that being said, maybe for some people, Paxil is necessary?
It may help.
Yeah.
It may help again, but it's not the root cause. Right. So in necessity, right? So this is where conventional meds come in for symptom relief.
Okay.
Right? If my heartburn is not alleviated by anything, I'll take something, right? Like, oh, it's killing me. I haven't been able to function.
I'll worry about the
give me my Band-Aid.
Later.
Exactly. Give me my Band-Aid.
Okay.
Which is why I don't write off. I certainly don't write off what conventional medicine does in that capacity at all.
All right.
This is why I want us all to work together as a team, right?
Okay.
So while you're putting your Band-Aid, let us look for that root cause, so then they can get off that Band-Aid medication, which shouldn't be long term, and then just heal.
Okay. Alcohol?
Well, alcohol.
You drink on the weekends?
No, I don't drink on the weekends. I hardly drink. I did drink on the weekends in my 20s for sure.
Okay.
I did some partying. So so alcohol is an issue, especially if it's a huge hormone disruptor, put it that way. And a lot of male and females, men and women today, have hormone issues. Basically what I'll say, this analogy, if your hormones it's like it's like a tub with a bunch of water, and your water's your hormones. Properly detoxifying hormones is like it's just going down the tub and it's fine. It's not building up like to sewer water, basically. What alcohol does is it competes with that water. So it's like, hey man, move over. Let me get in line. Let me go first. And that competitive change basically starts stagnating that detoxification of hormones. So what I'm trying to say is folks with hormonal issues, which is basically everyone, then we start seeing a lot of issues with men and women with alcohol. It's a big hormone disruptor. Predisposition to cancer. It's inflammatory.
Yeah, laughable list.
Yeah, but then look, on the other side, like I understand people drink, so it's like, okay,
it's hard to not drink.
Especially socially, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, hey man, let's go out tonight.
It's fun to like easily connect with people.
Sure, and I will, and that's what I'm saying. Like every now and then, I'll sit down, I'll have a glass of whatever with someone when I'm out. But you have to be really careful with binge drinking.
Yeah.
And then question why. Like, why do I need to drink when I'm out? Do I have an issue with myself socially?
Well, because it feels good.
Well, why does it feel good?
Because it's getting you drunk. I don't know.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, can you feel that good without alcohol?
No.
Some people can, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. Listen. Shit, I used to feel great when I used to drink,
Yeah.
But,
I think, as I get older, I like it less and less, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In the context of like sugar and the effect on blood sugar, then things like tequila or vodka might be better than, I don't know, like a jungle juice or something.
Right. Well, yeah, I feel like vodka and tequila are the healthiest liquor.
In the context of that, all of them are going to disrupt your hormones.
Right.
If you think about wine, red wine is usually the better choice because of the benefits.
Antioxidants.
Not necessarily antioxidants. It disrupts your gut the least of all of the alcohols. The problem is you want to get a good quality one. You don't want glyphosate in there, which is a chemical that they put in
to make it taste better, or
no, to protect it from weeds and spoiling and
oh,
right. So you want a glyphosate-free, organic, biodynamic wine. That's basically what you want.
Yeah, because the French, I guess, they're living into their 90s and
they have. Well, I have my own theories on like.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
What are your theories? Yeah.
Not necessarily the French. We have things like called blue zones, and in those blue zones, it has the highest age group. It's basically the oldest folks.
Right.
Highest concentration of old folks. It's well into their hundreds. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And there's different commonalities. Most of them eat a lot of plants, of course. Some are vegan. Some eat some fish. None of them are carnivores. But they have community. They have basically they know each other.
Yeah.
Like imagine like sitting at a table with your neighbor. I bet you don't know your neighbor.
Right.
I don't know mine.
No, well, I met it once.
The ones I met mine like in passing too, with a wall between us, like
huge
like
communities.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
communal.
Communal.
That's been the most powerful thing.
And moral support and the connection.
Yeah. So it actually is like not only the concept of having people in a community and you feel like you belong, but it's the support, like you just said. That support system has been shown to be, and it's pretty wild. Having community has been shown to be as effective as getting off smoking cigarettes and not being obese.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? In the context of
because even in the blue zones, they're all smoking.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're
eating fatty
the Europeans,
bread.
they're just doing their thing, drinking wine all the time.
Yeah.
So if you want to drink wine all the time or alcohol every weekend or you smoke cigarettes, I'm going to say, hey, don't do that. There's better choices. But go find a community that is not like trivia night getting wasted, but a real community where you feel supported and have depth.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, at least do
not
it
a false community.
At least like a game night with your friends.
Which is good, but like not a bunch of strangers at a bar.
Not at the bars, right.
You know what I mean.
The apple cider vinegar, is that the wonder? Does that do all the benefits they claim?
You know what's the wonder is sleep. That's the wonder.
Okay.
Proper sleep is the wonder for health. Yeah, and it's becoming sexy again because people are finally talking about it, the importance of sleep. This is a medical nerd calling things sexy, right?
Yeah.
This is sleep is sexy.
It's like hip, yeah.
Yeah, it's the hip thing now, but more than apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is wonderful for like stimulating digestion. So if you have issues with your digestion, maybe take a little apple cider vinegar, put some water, take a shot, and it'll help tell the stomach, hey, there's food coming in here. That's what it's best used for.
Tips for sleep?
Sleep hygiene. Basically, putting together something for yourself about an hour before bed, turning off all of these lights, these fluorescent lights. You know, some folks wear blue blockers that block the blue light. Yeah, I wear it at night. And you got to see, man, I look like
I have
some futuristic.
I have some blue blocker glasses.
You do? So put them on.
Yeah.
They say like 4 hours before your bedtime. I put it like 3. But certainly if I'm on my phone or computer, which I know you are, and I am, so you certainly should be wearing them. And then having a routine. So for me, an hour before bed, phone is off, period. Like no more calls, airplane mode.
Okay.
And then I'll do something that is like winding me down, which is like a shower. I always take a shower at night, and then I'll do some stretching, reading. It's a wrap. I'm in bed, you know. And that is the most important thing, because sleep, the benefits of sleep are expansive.
Yeah.
You know, when you get a good night's sleep, you could take on the world. You could take on all the stress. Everything could go wrong that day, but you're still resilient. And what it does for your hormones, for your immune system, for your nervous system, for all the connections in your body is game changing. Your blood sugar.
Any position that's better than the other?
They say sleeping on your back is the best. But do you used to play Street Fighter when you were little?
Maybe once. I was.
You were how old?
90, so I was like 5 when that was
you were 5.
popping. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a guy named I just saw a meme. It was Saget, and he was like, he used to fight with his knee, and he did this move called a tiger knee. So they call it a tiger knee pose. I just saw a meme. It was like,
oh well, it's like the swastika thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you're some.
Yeah.
So for me, I try to sleep on my back because I know it's a really restful position. It's good. It's good for posture. It's good for your bones, tendons. But I always end up in that.
Yeah, and also make the room cold.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't mention that. Between 65 to 75.
Yeah.
75 is a little too hot, so I say 65 to 70.
No, I like it icy cold.
It should
like
be
a
cold.
Winter camp out. Yeah.
So what happens is, and this is why I always say, I take a shower before bed, and I should have said this, taking a hot shower before bed might not be a good issue. You never want to raise your body temperature before bed because it can disrupt your sleep for the next few hours. So you always want to make sure you take a lukewarm. I take a semi-colder shower before bed, and it's helpful.
Yeah. I
so
take cold showers, but usually in the morning.
And then in the morning, I'll take a real cold shower. Like
after working out. Yeah.
You do. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So you believe in cold showers?
100,000%. Cold showers.
Because it's more natural, you know, the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we come to a place where we're just so comfortable in like this room temperature house, room temperature car, room temperature office. And we've evolved with these inputs of nature and cold and hot. And it activates different parts of our body and different things in our body, especially our immune system. So yeah, cold it's awesome.
Yeah. Is heart disease and cancer reversible?
That's hard to. Heart disease it depends on the stage of heart disease, right? Right. I've seen people who have plaques, who've been shown to have pre-plaques, right? Like just starting cholesterol, deposits, inflammation in the heart, all of their heart sensitivity, their inflammation markers up. I've seen that reversed, right? That's a huge dietary thing.
Yeah.
Cancer is a different story.
Yeah.
Right? Because cancer is not always diet.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen people actually change their diet and completely reverse cancer. Yes. For them, it might have been a dietary thing. But cancer is multifactorial.
Yeah.
It's diet, it's stress, it's environment, right? It's genetics, it's epigenetics.
So it's like a 90% chance that heart disease is reversible with diet alone.
It's certainly preventable.
Yeah.
100%. At the very least. And that's the number one killer, right? And it's wild that we eat so much crap in the standard American diet that it's no wonder we see so much heart disease. It's crazy how many people are sick with heart disease. And just like within this, I wish I could give you the correct statistics, but a lot of people have died since we've had this interview.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've heard it's number one for a while.
Yeah, but cancer is a wild one, and that's actually my specialty. That I went to residency for cancer. I do a lot of breast cancer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty passionate about cancer, and it's a killer. They say that when we're our parents' age, it'll be 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women who have been diagnosed with cancer. That's scary. I have a brother, so statistically it's me or my brother, which is wild. So for us, it's like, what can we do now? Which is a lot of my work, right? Especially with breast cancer, I'm doing an ebook that's coming out, how to basically, the things to do to put yourself in a place to prevent cancer.
Okay.
I can't say, hey, do this, you're gonna prevent cancer. Someone gets cancer, they go, Dr. G, what the hell? But
when's that come out?
April.
Cool.
I'm working on it now. So I'm going to launch that one. But I think it's really important for
And that's specifically for breast cancer?
for breast cancer because that's been my drive for a while. But really, like, there's so much in there that folks who just want to learn how to eat better, how to balance their hormones.
Yeah.
You know, you have a dad with prostate cancer, it's pretty similar. Breast cancer, prostate cancer are really similar interventions.
Well, okay, so is it mostly diet stuff you talk about?
Huge diet stuff, but also lifestyle stuff.
Move out of LA.
Move
Well,
out of
because
LA.
of the air quality.
The air quality is horrible. It's the worst in the country.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's like
shoot.
1 or 3, one of the two. Yeah, but stuff like we have to think about the way I look is a big pie that contributes to cancer, and each slice is different things for
Yeah.
different people. So in that I address everything. I have to.
Okay.
You know, so everything that I know contributes to breast cancer. Well, what do we do?
All right. What do you think of the Impossible Burger?
It's it would be impossible for me to ever eat it. Put it that way.
Why? It's vegan.
It's vegan. It is, but like, I'm into whole foods, man. I'm into like one ingredient, and that is really heavily processed. The Impossible Burger, it really is. Now, look, I don't want
It's
to
helping
vilify.
the climate.
Yeah, and the great, but I don't want to vilify people who eat it on the weekends
right.
too.
It's better than meat.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's two
Yeah,
ways to look
kind
at
of.
it. There's,
Yeah.
because it's super processed.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
Well, I read somewhere that it has about 800 times more estrogen.
yeah, I think that was a little overblown. I don't know if that was completely right. It does have soy, and soy is in its own thing, which I don't have much of a problem with when it's clean organic soy. That's not an organic piece of food, and it's utilizing this heme. Basically, to make it taste like meat, it utilizes heme. But the way they make the heme molecule is from, I believe, a root of a certain plant. But the way they modify and process it is totally alien to our body. So then our body's taking it in, and we don't know if it's causing allergies for half the people, 1% of the people. So again,
So it's, you don't trust it.
I did a whole review on it. You go on my Instagram, you'll see
Okay.
Impossible, Beyond Burger, and then for me, the better choices of veggie burgers.
Well, yeah, I feel like a grass-fed thing, a steak, is probably healthier.
In the context of that, what it does to your body, maybe. I mean, I can't necessarily say. If I put it this way, if I ate meat, I wouldn't eat the Impossible Burger, and I'd eat a grass-fed burger.
Yeah.
If someone had to put it in front of me.
Yeah.
But instead, I just fast.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Whey protein. What's the best protein powder?
My review on plant-based protein powders, I didn't do it on animal-based ones, but the plant-based protein powders that I found were, should I say the brands?
I mean, if you want, but like I know there's collagen.
Okay, yeah.
Pea
Okay, so
protein.
yeah, there's collagen, there's plant-based proteins, which are like pea, brown rice, hemp, and then there's the whey protein.
Okay.
And they all have different benefits and downsides.
Okay.
Whey protein is probably the most bioavailable source and
You'll get the
expansive
most
amino
yoked
acids.
on that
You'll get
one.
the most yoked up. But at the same time, that's doing the most stress to your digestive system and your microbiome.
Hormones, yeah.
And your hormones, right? Because you're getting animal.
It's dairy or whatever.
It's dairy. It's coming from the curdled milk. That it's liquid from it. Whereas on the other side, the plant-based ones, you really have to watch out for heavy metals, which is a big issue, right? Lead and cadmium coming in plant-based proteins, which is the whole review that I did last summer on the best plant-based protein powders that I did on the show and on my Instagram. And then there is the collagen, which isn't necessarily dense like post-workout protein. That's more used for like beauty and joint health. And I just did a collagen.
Makes you like
review.
more handsome?
Well, yeah, it makes folks like men like us glow.
I want the glow.
Yeah, if you want the glow, get yourself some collagen. But yeah, I reviewed the best collagens too.
All right. Wait, osmosis water.
Reverse osmosis.
That's but that doesn't take out the fluoride, does it?
It takes out everything.
Okay.
Yeah, purifies it
Reverse
like the
osmosis.
Berkey. Yeah.
And what you have?
I have the Berkey and reverse osmosis.
You have both of them.
Yeah, why not?
Do you filter it through the Berkey and then through the osmosis?
No, with like the world's most purified water, it comes out as gold, sparkling.
No, and then bottle it. Yeah.
And then bottle it, and then sell it at
yeah.
everyone.
So BPA free, right? That's a scam.
BPA free is a scam. BPA free is not necessarily any much better than BPA full.
Okay.
It's something the plastic industry did. They basically substituted crap for shit.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas, this is why I tell people, use stainless steel or glass
Okay.
instead.
Got it. Stainless steel or glass. Or boxed water, too. I've seen that.
Boxed water may be something, but the thing is the lining is usually using plastic too.
Huh.
The inside of the lining that you can't see. So I get the whole boxed water trend too, and on the surface it looks better, but why not just have glass or stainless steel, fill up your Berkey water filter or reverse osmosis, then you have, a huge water bottle.
You heard of C4 pre-workout?
No.
Well, I'm like looking at it and it doesn't really show me if it has, because it tastes really good. Tastes like Kool-Aid, but it says 0 sugar. So I'm looking for the aspartame or the Splenda.
Yeah.
I can't find it, so I don't know.
Where they deriving that taste from?
Then I even Googled it, and all I could find was it's perfectly fine.
By who wrote it? C4?
No, well, one of them, but no, most of them.
What is it for? Is it to like get you pumped up?
It's pre-workout, yeah. It's just I think of it as Kool-Aid with some vitamins, caffeine.
Juice and beets. Literally juice some beets, you get the arginine.
All right.
Or like eat some watermelon, right? You're literally doing the same thing in your body, and you're not putting that crap in there.
If you had to choose the least evil, sugar, aspartame, or Splenda?
Oh damn, that's a good question.
Yeah.
If I had to choose,
Coke Zero, Diet Coke.
I don't think I can, man.
Yeah.
It's
no,
really,
you have to choose.
It's so tough.
Guy has a gun to your head. Choose.
Maybe this, not even the Splenda, man. They're all terrible.
You have to choose. Come on.
All right, because I know my state of health. I would take the sugar.
Okay. I figure that I would take that too.
Because knowing my state of health, like I can handle it. It will, it'll raise my insulin, but
yeah,
I eat a ton of fiber anyway.
Okay.
Man, because Splenda
and aspartame, you're sure that's awful for you?
100%.
Okay.
And the problem is people argue that aspartame isn't bad, but they don't look at the metabolites when it breaks down in the body and what that does in the body. So it is wild. For me, it's like, why is that in our,
Okay.
I never felt good when I had Diet Coke. I know I used to get bloated all the time and I just felt crap. But we're so detached from how our bodies feel with stuff, and we just keep trudging on over and over without understanding, oh man, like 3 hours later, I feel horrible. My stomach hurts, I have a headache, my joints hurt, I feel like going to sleep. Well, maybe it was something you ate 3 hours ago. We never really look at that.
Yeah.
So we have to be better historians, like literally hour to hour of how we're feeling. Check in with yourself. How do we feel?
Do you ever take aspirin or Advil or Tylenol?
No, I don't need to.
Or do those just, what do you think? Same thing, symptoms, whatever.
Yeah, so something like aspirin has been shown, as we know it, that it can cause ulcers, it can cause bleeding in the stomach. And there's better options out there. White willow bark has been shown to be as effective and safer than aspirin, but no one uses it, right? Because we don't know about it. But one can use that when they're in pain, and it literally has aspirin in it, the chemical, but it also has all the other constituents that help coat your stomach so you don't get an ulcer, or you don't get, and that's nature versus us cocky men and women who think we could just outsmart nature.
And Bayer doesn't want you to know that.
Bayer doesn't want you to know that. Not at all.
And what's turmeric's? Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah, you were going to say exactly. That's what I was going to talk about. Turmeric.
Right.
So something like, let's say I go to the gym, I'm doing really bad form bicep curls, and I throw out my back. I'm gonna go home and juice some turmeric, juice some ginger, take a shot of that, and I'll do some hot cold therapy in the shower.
Okay.
There's a really nice trend going on with red light therapy. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I barely know about that.
Yeah, so the red light therapy actually has been shown to reduce pain, and a lot of athletes are using them. Yeah, pain and inflammation.
Okay.
So that's why it's huge in the NBA and the NFL. So we have one of those at the house, and so that's what I would do. I wouldn't even think to just go, well, how can I stop my body's signals telling me I'm in pain? And instead, why don't I just help work naturally with what's going on, reducing that inflammation, relaxing the muscle?
Yeah.
But what do I know, right?
All right, one more.
Okay.
And then just got to cover the Twitter questions. Essential oils, what do you think of those?
They can be therapeutic. I think we just need to get good quality ones. I think there's a lot of brands out there that...
I don't think I've ever used those. You use those?
I sometimes. I have some.
Like rubbing them, then it takes away pain or something?
For some, when they put it together with a carrier oil, but I've seen it in the context in the cancer hospital I used to work at, for a lot of men and women who had nausea from cancer, would utilize peppermint oil and breathe it in. And literally, like, they'd be like, wow, it's actually really helping a lot. So, because it goes to the brain centers where literally, like, the scents activate the different parts in the brain that are modulating the nausea. And it's really helpful for that. So that's just an example that it can help. Yeah, they are therapeutic for sure.
When you weed, do you smoke it or edibles?
I don't like edibles, man.
Yeah.
They're heavy. They're heavy for me.
But smoking is bad for your lungs.
Yeah. I mean, look, like, we're not talking about, like, it's like I'll do it like once every few months.
I was waiting for you to be like, I'm not perfect.
I'm not perfect. No.
No, it's all right.
Yeah. Oh no, I will smoke it, and I'll cough like a maniac.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's probably a lot better than tobacco smoke, right?
Oh hell yeah, 100%.
You sure?
100%.
Well, I don't know, these truth ads, who's paying for that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which inspires me, actually. I should do a whole thing on marijuana.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if it changes or increases inflammation in the lungs and what that looks like. No, I'm certainly not perfect. You know?
But no, it's the CBD that heals a lot of stuff, right?
The CBD has been shown to activate and latch onto the endocannabinoid system in our body, and it does all these wonderful things.
Thoughts on carnivore diet? But yeah, we kind of it's just a little extreme.
Yeah, I think it's a little extreme. I think you cannot just disregard fiber in a diet. Meat can be nutrient dense. You can get a lot of vitamins. You can get a lot of minerals. But where are the antioxidants? Where's that fiber that feeds your gut bacteria that literally is helping you be a human being, right?
Well, it's pretty much like guaranteeing a heart attack, right?
I mean, if there's data that literally says, like, you're increasing the risk of inflammation in the body, and those byproducts of the meat, clogging the pores, clogging the arteries. Yeah, I mean, like,
but then maybe
you can't be extreme with stuff in life. Like,
moderation.
Yeah, like, for me, it's like, I'll still eat my plant-based proteins. Like, I don't need meat, and my labs have always been wonderful. My nutrient profiles, knock on wood, have been wonderful. For me, I don't care what diet you do. I care that you eat a lot of vegetables and a variety of colors.
And what's your main source of protein?
Beans, nuts, seeds, tempeh.
Okay.
Yeah, like, sometimes I'll even do protein powders,
Tempeh is the soy thing, right?
Tempeh is fermented soy.
And doesn't that cause estrogen and guys become girly?
This is the best bar question. Yeah, that's good. Guys become girly.
Yeah.
No, well, what soy does, contrary to popular belief, is that it blocks. We have the cell and receptors, and it blocks it protects that receptor from the carcinogenic form of estrogen. Basically, it protects the cell from the estrogen that is really going to cause a lot of damage in the body. And that's contrary to popular belief. Everyone's like, oh, if I eat soy, though, like, I'm going to become a woman. Not necessarily at all.
Okay.
And that would be a concern, but on the contrary, what we see is women who are predisposed to breast cancer or have breast cancer, or we see the least amount of breast cancers in the high soy eating populations.
Oh.
In prostate cancer, there are actually many prostate cancer doctors who say, you eat soy, in moderation, and it's shown to be protective for breast cancer and prostate cancer, which is wild, because if the mechanism was estrogen and causing estrogen and issues with estrogen, then it would push more cancer. So I have much less of a problem with soy than, say, like, brofitness.com may have,
Right. Can guys get breast cancer?
Guys can get breast cancer. Small amount, small percent.
That's like the guys that eat a lot of soy?
No, not the guys who eat a lot of soy. It's usually genetic, like really big genetic.
Well, okay, cool. Testosterone supplement? Well, there's the TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, which is like a doctor's thing. And then there's this, the terrible, or what's that? Tribulus or something?
Oh, Tribulus.
Whatever, yeah. There's all that stuff.
All that stuff.
Which is like supplement stuff.
Number one thing for testosterone, you want to know?
Yeah.
Sleep.
Great.
It's
No, I know.
It's literally deep restorative sleep.
Yeah.
REM sleep, non-REM sleep, everything.
Deeper stories.
Yeah, I have an Oura ring and it tracks the sleep. And
I have a dog. Could she be waking me up and me not getting good sleep maybe?
yeah, if you should get a ring or something that tracks your sleep.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can see
Well,
how
that
many
app,
times you're waking
what's
through the
that
night.
called? Sleep Cycle.
Sleep Cycle is another one. Yeah.
Is that a good app?
It's a good app. It's not as sensitive as this ring, but you know.
That's an electronic ring?
No, well, I put on airplane mode.
Okay.
So the data comes in the morning when I take it off.
But it's Bluetooth.
It's on airplane mode.
Oh, got it.
So then you take it off, you put it on, activate it, then it goes
All right.
on.
I'll get all these links from my
you.
Amazon links.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, so testosterone, right. So you don't know too much about the replacement therapy? I don't know.
Sometimes I've worked with some doctors who did it. I never worked on it with it. But literally that and leg workout, squatting.
Okay. Squatting, yeah. I got my kettlebell swings.
Perfect.
What would you say is the healthiest? All right, they asked, what's the healthiest superfood to combat diseases? You just say kale.
No. The healthiest superfood is vegetables and a variety of them. Diverse color. It's not just like leafy greens, but every single color of the rainbow.
If you had to pick one meal to eat for the rest of your life and only that, what would you choose?
One meal to eat only that? You asked the wrong person. I'll tell you why. I'm not a foodie. I'm not the food doesn't necessarily.
All right, yeah, you kind of just think of it.
I think of it as
fuel.
nutrition, which is that's probably like a little relationship with food. I probably should enjoy it more too.
No, plenty of people think that way.
Oh, okay.
I know Tony Robbins thinks that way.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Quinoa.
Really?
Yeah, I like quinoa.
Just quinoa.
With
some vegetables.
Yeah, with some vegetables. Spiced up a little bit. I like quinoa.
What's your favorite spice to do? Like garlic? What?
Garlic is nice.
Salt.
Cayenne is awesome.
Cayenne.
I do take Himalayan salt.
Oh yeah, you heard of the saltwater flush?
No.
Okay. Well, it's like you drink, you get a liter of water, you put 2 big old spoonfuls of sea salt, and you drink it, all of it, and then you have explosive diarrhea.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
The osmotic effect. It's just pulling everything out.
Right. So does that sound healthy or not healthy?
No, not at all.
No, because I'll do it.
No, I know you will.
I'll do it once every 3 months, and it feels good. I feel like a new person afterward.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Maybe because you're just getting good electrolytes in your body.
I don't know.
Yeah. What we should do as a prank? We should just do a saltwater flush and, just take an excess amount and see who has the most explosive diarrhea.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we'll make that an episode. Look into that, because that's, I don't know, some people do it.
Interesting.
Well, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to cover or anything?
Well, I hope we added value. Okay, so my show, Heal Thyself, that's my show that I do. And
Heal Thyself.
Check it out. I go over, all different types of products, give some knowledge, awesome guests. Instagram is @doctor.g, Dr.G. Ebook is coming in April, breast cancer. And yeah, watch out. I'm doing a lot more media and teaching people, education.
Awesome. Yeah, check out all of Dr. G's info in the description. Let us know any contrary opinions you have, or any stories you guys want to share in the comments. Get a discussion going. And thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you next week.